Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about my children's favorite audiobooks. I have a first grader and two kindergartners who love listening to audiobooks. So today I'm going to be talking about some of their favorites. So hi, my name's Talia. I love books. I love bandanas. I'm so glad you're at my channel today. We are talking about something that has been a lifesaver for me over the past couple of years, and that is audiobooks. I have three children that are very close in age. They are very loud. They are very rowdy. That rowdiness continues into the car whenever we are going anywhere. So probably a couple years ago, so we have a 6-year-old, two 5-year-olds right now. Couple years ago, my daughter was 4, the boys were 3, and it was just always chaotic in the car. Just always chaotic, or fighting over what songs, or like, I want Baby Shark, and I was like, I can't listen to any more Baby Shark, I'm gonna lose my marbles. So kind of around that time, I'm probably right when my daughter was like 4, kind of going on 5, I was like, we gotta start listening to some audiobooks. And I was like, this will be fun for me. And if I can get them to latch on and focus, this will be fun for them too. And we can have more peaceful car rides, and we could spend some time doing it at home too. Less time in front of the TV when I'm like trying to get something done, making dinner, clean something. I was like, this will be great. And I'm actually kind of surprised to say it really worked. Like, my kids, little as they were, like, latched onto audiobooks. And now when we get in the car, they're like, what are we gonna listen to? So I actually had my daughter help me with this list. I was like, I want you to help me know what your favorite audiobooks are so I can tell other moms, like, what audiobooks are good for littles. Some of these are big chapter books. Like, you would be surprised how even young kids will sit and listen and like be engaged in the stories. And some of them are kind of for younger age ranges, but overall some really good books to share with you today. So I have my list because I'm not even going to pretend to remember all. I think there's 10 of these, and it's too much work to pretend that I know and edit it all out and all the things. I don't have time for that. I have lots of little kids. So yeah, we're just gonna go through starting now. So the first books that my kids love are the Ramona Quimby audiobook collection. So Beverly Cleary. I'm just gonna loop Henry Huggins right in here with Ramona because my kids love these books. And there are 8 Ramona books and I think 8 Henry Huggins books as well. And you can get them in audiobook collections. So I'm going to put affiliate links below if you want to purchase audiobooks, but I will say I have never purchased an audiobook. Go to the library, get a library card. You can get all the audiobooks for free. My library lets you keep them for 3 weeks, and most of the time they're available. Sometimes you'll have to put them on hold and like wait a little while. It does make my kids kind of annoyed if they're like in the middle of an audiobook and then it like has to go back to the library and then they have to re-put it on hold and wait. So if your kids are gonna have a fit about that, maybe purchase them, but I will say it's a good lesson in patience, and then while they're waiting for another book, they can just find something else to listen to because there's always something great to listen to. So I don't pay for audiobooks. I will link them below if you just want to check and see which ones I'm talking about, or if you do want to purchase. That's your priority. Okay, so Ramona and Henry, you can get like the whole 8 Ramona books all in one like audiobook, so it'll just play like one after another. And my kids just love them. If you aren't familiar with Ramona and Henry Huggins, it's just like a day in the life of kids growing up in like the 70s, and just like going to school and making friends and riding bikes and having paper routes and like being mad because someone copied your work. And they are just hilarious and heartwarming, and my kids just love them. My kids, like, they act out, like when they're playing downstairs, they'll like act out playing Ramona and Henry Huggins and Beezus. They like pretend they're the characters in these books. Like, we've probably gone through all of them, like all the books in all the series, like 5 times at least, and they're still the most requested. They love them. So yeah, definitely those are probably just number one on the list. They love those. Ralph S. Mouse by Beverly Cleary also has a pretty decent audiobook collection. And they're all together and you can listen to a few books on Ralph S. Mouse. They're not as big of a hit, but we have listened to them a couple times through. Ralph S. Mouse, like Ralph on the motorcycle. My kids love like this little mouse is like driving on this motorcycle through the hotel and like talking to a human boy, and like it's cute as well. It's accepted. So Beverly Cleary is like a big win for them. There's a couple other standalone Beverly Cleary books as well. We can't go wrong with Beverly Cleary in my house. And again, like my kids are pretty young, but they latch right onto it and they understand what's going on and they are into it 100%. So definitely recommend those. The Mercy Watson collection by Kate DiCamillo is another series that we love. And these I would say are geared for younger kids a little bit. Like they're shorter chapters. They don't have as much in depth as some of the others on this list, but they are hilarious. Like I laugh out loud when I read them. So Mercy Watson is this pig and she lives in this house, and her owners feed her toast with a great deal of butter on it. And Mercy like is always having like shenanigans. Like she's always getting into trouble and like the neighbors don't like her, and like there's always something going on. So they're so cute. And actually just today, we were listening to a new one, like number 7 came out in the Mercy Watson collection, and it's a little bit longer than some of the others. So we were listening to that and the kids were getting a kick out of it. So super funny. And there's like some spin-offs from some of the other characters in the books too, that are like full-length books. So like there's a character named Baby Lincoln and there's a full book about her, and like there's this like Leroy guy and there's a whole book about him too. So my kids are really into all the characters and the world that Kate DiCamillo has created on Deckawoo Drive is like the place where all this takes place. So those are really good. We love those. The Princess in Black is another one that they enjoy. And this is by Shannon and Nadine Hale. And these are pretty short little stories. It's about this princess, and she is doing her princess life, but also she is the princess in black. So she sometimes goes and like changes into black clothes, and like her horse changes into like, he has a disguise as well, and they like go like solve mysteries and fight like little crime. And it's a whole series and they're really cute. So yeah, those are ones you should definitely check out as well. Zoe and Sassafras are ones that we found pretty recently, Asia Citro. And these are like, they're like a perfect combination of like science and magic and problem solving. They're like Zoe and her cat Sassafras, like there's always like some sort of magical creature involved. So like I think at one point it was like part butterfly, part cat, or like little creatures that live in the stream or something. And there's always something going on, like an environmental problem or like missing eggs or like something going on that Zoe has to like solve. And she uses like very scientific processes to solve them, and like her parents are like involved and they're like trying to solve these problems. So they talk about like real science, but it's like done in like a magical way. And I think there was 4 in that series if I remember correctly, and they were super cute. I really enjoyed those, and my kids were into listening. And I feel like when they're listening to things like that, like I feel like they're kind of soaking in the scientific process, and I'm kind of a science nerd, so I really enjoyed those, and they did too. A to Z Mysteries by Ron Roy. So we, in our homeschool, we do Sunlight for part of our homeschool, and The Missing Mummy was one of the books we read recently. And so it's A to Z mysteries. So there's like a mystery for every letter of the alphabet. So M was the missing mummy. And there's like these kids that were trying to solve the mystery of this mummy, but it was like, it's like kind of done in an educational way where they were also learning about mummies in ancient. Don't bump that, okay, buddy? Judah's here to try to cause some ruckus. They're done in like an educational way. So like they're talking about ancient Egypt and the process of making mummies and all this stuff. So after we read that in homeschool, I was like, I bet there's more books in this series. And there are, for all the letters of the alphabet. So we have listened to, they come in like, the audiobooks come in like 3 books at a time. So we've done A through Z and then D, E, F. I think we're in that DVD right now, if I remember correctly. We're in the middle of a couple others just based on their moods, but they like those as well. And again, I feel like they're educational, they're learning, and the kids are just like these friends that are solving mysteries and having a good time while doing it. And yeah, they're really well done. They're fun. One you've probably heard of is The Wild Robot. I love The Wild Robot. I think that book is great. And my kids have really liked it as well. We've listened to the first one and the second one. These are by Peter Brown. And The Wild Robot is about a robot who ends up like shipwrecked, and she kind of wakes up on this island, and she, this is like her first experience with life, and she doesn't know what to do. And she, just is living on this island and trying to figure out how to live with the animals. And she ends up adopting like this little duckling and becoming his mom, and they're so cute, you guys. They're so cute. And the second one in particular, I don't remember this being present in the first one, but the second one has like all these like, it's like more theatrically done. Like it has more like they're like, oh, birds chirping in the background, or like you feel like you're surrounded by nature. Maybe it was in the first one too and I didn't remember, but it was definitely present in the second one. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Those are great stories, and those are pretty long ones. Like that, they'll keep your kids occupied for like a long car journey, for sure. Those are really good. Okay, a couple more on the list are classics, which we've listened to twice. No, we've listened to each of these once. I will say they enjoyed them. They haven't requested them again. But when I asked my daughter, I was like, because we were kind of going through the list of ones that we've read, she was like, oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. So I think if I just put them on again, they will listen to them again and enjoy them. But they're more towards the bottom of this list because they just haven't been like ones that they've been like, yeah. But I really enjoyed them. And my son really likes penguins. So Mr. Popper's Penguin is one that we read, and that's by Richard and Florence Atwater. And this is about a man, and he somehow, I can't remember, he ends up getting one penguin, and then he gets two penguins, and then there's like a whole bunch of baby penguins. Then he like is raising these penguins in his house, and they end up like going on the road and traveling with these penguins. And it was just super cute. And yeah, my kids, they really enjoyed it. It was just a fun story. And they were like, what? Like the penguins are in the bathroom? Like what? Like, yeah, just super cute. And another one, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. I will say, like, I'm kind of like, Roald Dahl, some of his books are kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like the BFG, James and the Giant Peach, like I remember growing up reading those books and just being like, I don't know about those. But Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a classic. I loved that one growing up. So I did have my kids listen to it and they loved it. I mean, who doesn't love going to like a factory of chocolate and like all the crazy things that happen? And yeah, they thought it was really cute. So I don't know if I'll do any more like of that author right now, because I don't love the books. But at some point we will probably dabble in that too, because he's an excellent writer, even if his style isn't really my my taste. So yeah, just a good list to get you started. If you have not played audiobooks for your kids, you definitely should. If you haven't at all and you have littles, I would start with the Mercy Watson collection. Those are so cute and funny and short, and they will like just grab your kids' attention right away. Like those were one of the first ones we listened to, and I give Kate DiCamillo credit for kind of our audiobook journey starting strong, because those were just so good. So let me know, do you play audiobooks for your little kids? Do you have ones you want to recommend to me? Because I always am looking for more audiobooks for my kids. I'm like, love like growing young readers. And yeah, let me know what you think. I think that's all I have to say tonight. I'm batch filming today. This is my third video in a row, and my voice is getting pretty scratchy, so I think we're gonna have to call it a night. But I hope you are doing well wherever you are. I hope you take some time today to read a good book or two, and if you are having a bad hair day, just wear a bandana. Bye.